We needed it so badly too. I welcome everyone here. Can anybody hear me now? Well, I don't think anyone's here now. Hello, everyone. Internet in the Philippines is not so great. Sorry about that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully, you can see me and hear me. As long as everyone's able to hear and see me now. Went ahead and left and came back on. It looks like the video is working now. Yeah, the rough life of the province. We're primitive here, kind of. How's everyone doing today? Glad you're doing good. So, how was your day today? Did you have a good day? Now that's nighttime. I guess your day's pretty much over. I'm doing good. Just kind of tired of all the brownouts, the power outages, the water shortages, internet issues. Other than that, everything's great. That's all part of province life in the Philippines. I welcome everyone to the channel. Looks like I got about 5 people here today. It's rough here, but then again, Island's a beautiful place. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Even though we have a lot of hardships, it's still worth being here. What does everybody want to talk about today? Where you all coming from? Uh, I can relate. When I was working, I had one of those too. Every day when I worked at that one place for 5 years, they told me if I don't work faster, they're going to fire me. Every day. Stress was crazy. Definitely relate to that. Glad I'm over with that. Tired of all the stress it gave me. They always want more. You give everything that you have, and they always want just a little bit more. The supervisors. I don't even have a text box to leave a message here. I don't know what's going on with this. I guess as long as everybody can hear me and I can see the messages, it's what counts. But I can't type a welcome message or anything like that. I don't know why. Where my text messages are, I'm not great at this live thing anyway. I don't even have a text box to say a message or anything here. Looks like I got 3 people here now. I had 6. I guess the numbers go up and they go down. It's 4 now. Let me know where everyone's coming from. As long as everybody can hear me and see me, I guess that's what counts. I don't have a text box to leave a message. I don't know why. No text box. Why is that? No text box. Uh, you're on candid camera. This thing is crazy. It doesn't give me a text box. Can everybody still hear me? I don't see any new messages or anything. I got 3 people. Oh.
It's like that, no good. Either you put that in.
Then I cannot read the messages.
It's in front of you.
I know.
No good like that. I saw your video. It's no good.
Hmm.
I wonder why no one watching you.
What can I do, bro?
You need to put like
I can't. This gets in the way.
that's
Uh huh.
that. You can do like that, hold like that.
Then if I hold like that, I'm shaking like that.
That shaking. Oh, shaking. Your picture is shaking.
No, it's not shaking. I'm holding it still. I'm not perfect. Hmm. Look how stable. That's not shaking now. Is a video of me shaking up and down or left and right? I'm holding it still, I think. If I put it, I have a little tripod stand, and if I put it on that, it's hard for me to read the messages when people type. Everybody's quiet today. Well, I got 2 people here. That's cool. We're getting a lot of rain now. Maybe they'll fill the mountains with water and we'll have water to wash our clothes and bathe with. That would be nice. Is my video okay or is it cutting out or what's up with that? Okay, cool. I think no matter what you do in your life, you're going to have stress. I'm retired. I don't have the stress from working anymore, but I have the stress of no water. Now it's raining. We're finally getting water back. With electric brownouts all the time. Poor internet. There's always stress in our lives. I don't know why, but it just seems that when you're working, the stress is 10 times more. It really is. Especially here in the Philippines. A lot of the people, they work outside. And if it's raining, that affects their job, and maybe they don't get paid that day if they're not working. Life's pretty tough no matter where. That's strange how I had to leave. I went into the studio app, and it wouldn't work because I'm in the cell phone app. And then I leave the cell phone app, and I come back, and then the camera works. I have a generator, but it doesn't help the internet because when the power goes out, the people who have the internet, their router has no electric. They don't have a generator for the router. So even if I have a generator, when the power goes out, I have no internet. unless I go looking for TNT signal by the boulevard, and then it's hit and miss with TNT. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I really don't have a need for. I have battery operated flashlights and stuff like that, so I've never had to do the candles problem. Candle and matches. Worst comes to worst, I can crank the generator up. I wired it to do the whole house, including the small air conditioning and everything, refrigerator, TV, lights. I did electrical and air conditioning, so I knew how to hook up a transfer switch. And when the power goes out, I just turn the transfer switch to generator. I'll show you all what that looks like. Looking at my face all day is boring. Here, I'll give you a look at the generator. This is the, I don't know if you can see it. See it on the wall? That's a transfer switch. And one, it's got a breaker for the main power and one for the generator. And it's got a safety switch so they both can't be on at the same time. Then underneath that is a generator. You gotta prepare for the worst in the province. Stuff happens. Back in the States, I had the we hardly ever had a power outage, but candles and matches. I use them in the States sometimes, but in the Philippines, no. Everything's rechargeable lights and stuff. I charge them up, so if the power goes out, I can just turn them on. I hardly ever use the generator here. If I could use, I do use the generator more if it helped turn the internet back on. But all it does is turn my router on, but it doesn't turn on the main hub that supplies the internet because they don't have a generator. It is what it is, I guess. Uh, when I was just a little boy, that was like dinosaur years ago. I lived in New Jersey until like I was like 8 or 9 years old. They had those super big soft pretzels. Sometimes I think about those. That's like the number one food in America I miss is the pretzels. And also I miss going to the store and having some hamburger meat, making big hamburgers. Here in the province, if they got beef, it's terrible. You have to go to the city to get like the fast food like McDonald's or something like that. But where I'm at, the hamburgers are about the size of paper. That's how thick they are. I miss a big old make my own hamburger with ground beef. I miss that. Pizza we can make here. I have a little oven. We can make pizza here. So I don't miss pizza, so we can get that. But the hamburgers, I guess I miss. Or filet mignon, they don't have here. If somebody could cook it good, that would have been great. if it was tender and it wasn't hard like leather. What about you? What kind of food you like? Oh yeah, one more thing. When I was living in Florida for a while, they had these big beefsteak tomatoes. The big beefsteak tomatoes in Florida. They were the best I've ever had in the world. They were great. I cut them open and put some salt and pepper on them and eat them raw. Wow, I miss those. I really do. But I lived in Florida before I went to South Carolina, Georgia, and all that, like 25 years. And I guess out of all the food, big beefsteak tomatoes from Florida would be the top of my list. Meatloaf is good too. You got to have good ground beef to make it. And here you don't have it. You could go if you lived in the big city like Manila or Cebu or something like that. You could buy it. But in the province, you can't buy good ground beef. You can buy these processed meatballs. Sometimes they sell here. That's about it. It's not the same. I used to also make spaghetti with hot Italian sausage mixed with you make your meatballs and then you cut little pieces of hot Italian sausage into the spaghetti. Oh, that was delicious. I miss that. I've never seen hot Italian sausage yet. Hey Austin, how you doing? Welcome back. Saw you the other day. How are you doing? We were talking about food. It's making me hungry. Oh my goodness, I miss food. I'm glad you're doing good, Austin. What's your favorite food, Austin? This. What's that YA? I don't get that. I don't know what that means. Oh, you like meatloaf too, huh? That's two people here that love meatloaf. I like meatloaf too if it's cooked right. I miss ground beef here in the province. uh, like non-existent. You got to go to the big city here in the Philippines to get some good ground beef. Yeah, I would love right now to have a big piece of meatloaf with some potatoes, so with butter, salt, and pepper. On the side, big old Florida beefsteak tomatoes, some cucumbers on the side. Who's handsome? It ain't me. I'm an ugly guy. Liver? No, I hate liver. But steak's good. But steak, you gotta cook it. You gotta cook it right. If not, it tastes like shoelace. Carlos Mora, how are you? Welcome to the channel, to the live feed. We were talking about what everybody loves to eat for food, making me hungry. Oh, thank you. I got one just like that too. It's a gray one. It's a cool kind of hat. If I take it off, my girlfriend always shaves my head almost, about bald here. I got to cover that, keep the sun off my bald head. Favorite dessert? Ah, can't get it here. I would say peach cobbler, and then ice cream's the second best. Probably peach cobbler from Georgia with whipped cream on the top, followed with a big old bowl of vanilla ice cream. That would be good. I haven't had peach cobbler in I can't even remember. Yeah, they don't have too many good dishes of food here. But if you love seafood, this is the place to be. Squid, shrimp, fish. But I'm not a seafood lover. They have a lot of seafood here. People, if you love seafood, this is the place to be. What's next? Favorite memory? Uh, Favorite snack would be, let's do that one first. I guess that one's a hard one. I guess beef jerky. I haven't seen much around here though. I like the beef jerky, the tender kind that almost melts in your mouth, or deer jerky from South Carolina. Some of the hunters they'd get deer, and they some of the old timers would make like a beef jerky out of the deer jerky. Oh, that was incredible. Favorite memories? Huh? I don't have many great memories, and a lot of bad memories, but not a whole lot of great memories. I guess when I got out of the military, I was expecting life to be great, and it never was. Staying home from work. That's an all-time great for anybody, I think. Yeah, chips are good. I wish they had glazed potato chips here, but if you want Lay's, you got to get to the big cities like Manila, Cebu. The province, they don't have any glazed potato chip. And if they imported it, they would charge you about 10 times the price it cost. Reese's cups, I love those too. I could eat a whole pack of them and watch my belly grow while I'm eating them. Don't have that here either. Most of the stuff they don't have here, you can find in the big city. But if it's import stuff coming from the U.S., you're going to pay a pretty price for it. Just like a laptop, you can buy a laptop in the U.S. all day long. I haven't been in the U.S. since 2019, but when I left, you could buy a laptop for $300 all day long. Here, you got to double the price. They say Philippines is cheap. They are as far as rent goes, but as far as I would say food and electronics, they're not cheap. They're probably more expensive than the U.S. JJ, what kind of work do you do? Housekeeper. That's not a fun job. That can be stressful and heavy work. Yeah, yeah. That would not be that would not be fun. And if you had a supervisor that treated you badly, that makes it even worse. People don't realize, bosses don't realize, you're doing the best you can. You're stressed out to begin with the job, and then they push you and treat you badly. That happened all my life. All my bosses were like that. A lot of the bosses don't give their employees any respect at all. Treat them like slaves, and they wonder why they have a bad attitude. Bosses don't realize if you treat the people with respect and you treat them good, they'll work a lot better for the bosses. They treat them like a slave, they're not going to work as good. Christmas time, the Christmas bonuses. One time, the bonuses they gave was one company they gave a small, tiny wooden Santa Claus. That was what they gave for our Christmas bonus. That was pathetic. Showed how much they appreciated us. Then they had a Christmas party, and they gave you a coupon. You could have 2 beers maximum. Yeah, crazy, huh? That was back in the U.S. It seems like the bosses could have at least give you a $50 Christmas bonus or something. They don't have to go crazy with it. Or one company gave us a big turkey for Christmas or something for Thanksgiving, and that was good. But a small wooden Santa Claus. Oh my God! I pretty much gave up on the drinking part. Except every 3 years you have to leave the Philippines. When I leave, when I go to a different country, you have to leave, then come back. I'll have some beer then. Not so much, but I'll have a few beers when I'm on my small mini vacation. Well, what can we do? You just go forward one day at a time. I'm definitely glad that I left the working environment and retired. We have our own problems when you're retired, but money's always a problem. If you're on Social Security only, they don't give you much. Better than nothing, though. Enough in the Philippines. That's what's good about it. You don't need much. You can rent a place cheap, have a roof over your head. That's all you need, and enough to buy food. So that's all you need in life. I don't need to live in a mansion. Run a one room place is okay. I guess when you get older, all the things you thought you needed or had to have, you realize you don't. You don't really need them. Important things is food and shelter. That's it. And hopefully the people that you're with are in a good environment. It's the person I'm with gives me stress, bad mood in the morning. So, I don't know. All you can do is take a day at a time, and hopefully the next day is a little better, huh? I only, I only, I only had one boss that one had one job, and that boss gave us a week's salary for our Christmas bonus. Philippine soap opera. On the Philippines, all the people are watching the Korean soap operas on YouTube or Facebook, something like that. A lot of Korean soap operas are real popular. Almost all the girls here are watching the Filipino on their phones, the Korean soap operas. I would say that Korean soap opera is probably the number one thing that everybody's watching here. All the girls, anyway. I don't know what the guys are watching too much. K-pop or whatever. And you go to YouTube and you see what's trending, and a lot of the K-pop dancing and all that stuff's trending. Stuff like my channel's not trending, not popular. Nobody cares. I guess I'm not in the hip hop stage of life. I don't think I ever was in the hip hop stage. Like Snoop Dogg or whatever they call that guy. I can't understand how he's rich. He doesn't dance good or nothing, in my opinion. He raps a little bit or whatever, but he's so popular. Everybody in the world loves him. And I keep on looking at him, and I'm wondering why they love him. I don't see anything. If I had to pick one of the uh, 50 Cents, he's kind of cool. Ice T's kind of cool. Ice T even made some TV shows. Those are rappers. Yeah, I Snoop Dogg or whatever. I just don't see how he made all the money and is so much famous. I don't see anything there really. I think Ice T and 50 Cents are far more better. I don't care for rap, but I just think the way they carry themselves is a lot better. Yeah, I don't know. Snoop Dogg got a lot of money, so whatever he's doing, he might as well keep on doing it. I think he treats his girl good. He loves his girl, so that's a good plus for him. A lot of the hip hop, they got a new girl every day. I think Snoop Dogg stays with the same woman, so that's a positive part about Snoop. Other than that, I don't think there is any. I'm just amazed how popular he is. He's making tons and tons of money, and he's so popular that any of the places would be happy to have him show up because tons of people would come to see him. Yeah, I'm old. I like top 40 pop or country and stuff. I was just never a fan of rap or hip hop, but a lot of people love it. I could never, I could never understand about these rappers. I could never understand these rappers. They got their pants pulled down, covering half their butt, and they think that's cool look. And their hat back, their baseball hat backwards, and their pants down halfway, covering their butt. I never saw anything cool about that. I guess to each their own, though. What I don't think is cool, most people think is cool. So I'm kind of old fashioned. It's good. My girlfriend turns the baseball hat backwards. I tell her to turn it.
What?
When you go like that with the baseball hat and you turn it like that, I said turn it frontwards.
Depending on how to work it.
Mhm. I can tell her what to do, but she don't listen to me anyway. So
You don't listen also to me, so it's fair.
if she's forcing, and look at this,
No,
forcing me to drink black coffee too,
that's for your own good.
because I got too much sugar. When I get too much sugar, my from cookies and ice cream, I get a rash on my arms, and I get gout. My feet swell up and everything. So she's got me on a strict diet now. Yeah, YouTube's hard trying to get views on your videos and trying to make videos that people like. It's real hard. I'm good. It's real hard to find out what everybody likes to watch with not violating copyright. On my other channel, I did a lot of short clips and stuff like that. You got to be so careful. They have a fair use, but it's real hard to put the videos up with fair use because what you think is fair use, YouTube might think no, it's not. The trend is dancing. If I dance, nobody's gonna watch K-pop. Nobody want to see that. I'm telling you. I promise you that nobody want to see that. Me doing a K-pop dance. Ooh. Nah, I'm not a dancer. Even when I was young, I'm not a dancer. NSYNC. NSYNC, that's a boy band, isn't it? They had some popular songs out. Nah. No dancing for me. That's for sure. Even when I was young, no dancing for me. In my younger days, if I went to a club, you had to dance to go meet a girl, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was just trying to be social, I guess. No. Not me. I'm no K-pop guy. No way. I'll suffer and take the small views or no views before I do K-pop. The way YouTube's going right now, I won't be around to be monetized anyway. It'd probably take me 15, 20 years to get monetized if that even happened. It's a slow thing. You got to put videos out that everybody loves, useful for everybody. I'm not interested in no dance. I can barely talk, less dance. Maybe I could do the K-pop on my motorcycle. I'll do that. That motorcycle or that motorcycle. That's my walk. That's my walking. I had in my other channel, I had some workout videos, but nobody was interested. Maybe I could have a video eating ice cream or a cake. Maybe I'll get some views. I don't know. It's on honest to goodness, it's hard to understand what people like. If you give them what they like, YouTube gives you a strike. People like war videos that show the people getting shot up. You do that, you get a strike, and YouTube won't send your video. I mean, it's hard out there. It really is. That's why I'm doing most of my videos are just talking without uh, pictures of clips on there because everything you do, YouTube checks with a fine tooth comb, and if it doesn't meet it, they'll give you a strike or a warning. Then boom, your channel pretty much dead in the water for 90 days. And if you get 2 strikes or whatever, or three strikes, they terminate your channel completely. It's supposed to be 1 strike and they stop for 2 weeks, but that's not true. 1 strike, they don't push your videos at all for 90 days. I talked to Gemini about that, and he said, yeah, it's supposed to be 2 weeks, but in reality, they put you as a high risk and they stop pushing your video for 90 days. That's what happened to my other channel, MPB Notebook. No matter what I did, I wouldn't get the only views I had were mine, like 3 or 4 views, and that was it. That's why this channel, I'm scared about putting videos out that are not with me, copyrights or any. It's tough on YouTube. It really is. Whatever you say or do, somebody's watching. You gotta walk a thin line. People want more. And how do you do war clips? If the war was over 50, 60 years ago, you're not going to be the one in the war clip. If you use somebody else's material, you have to do it in a way that you're adding to that clip. If they don't think you're adding to it and making it your own, they'll give you a copyright strike. It's rough on YouTube. Workout videos are great if you're a 20-year-old girl with an excellent body. You'll go. You'll be monetized with 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers in a couple weeks. But I'm not that. I'm a guy that's gonna be 58 in 2 months with not that sexy body or that sexy face. Yeah, you can mute the music or you can get the clips and stuff and turn the audio off on the clip completely and put your own audio. But still, they can give you a copyright violation if they want. They press. A lot of the war clips, they'll give you like a 60 second time frame. And if you go over that, they'll give you a copyright violation. But it's all tough. Me, I don't have to care. I don't have to worry about uh, beating the music because I'm not monetized. If you have music, you can get a copyright violation if that music's not yours. I put a video out that says stress. If you look at that video and when it comes on the clip, I'll put the where the clip came from, and it came from VN, so I don't get a copyright violation just for playing that small clip. That's the constant problem: copyright violations or any kind of strike against you. It pretty much shuts your channel down. That's why most of my stuff is my mug on me on the video. I'll try to add some clips, but you got to be real careful when you do it. I saw one thing that was kind of fascinating. You know, Amazon's girl, his ex-wife, she has donated for 2025. She's the top donator in the world. I'm in America. 7 billion she donated to people. A lot of that is paying people's medical bills and stuff like that. And they asked Elon Musk, also the richest man in the world, why he doesn't donate. He says he doesn't donate because his SpaceX, he puts a lot of satellites in the air and gives free internet to these undeveloped countries. I'm in one of those undeveloped countries and I have to pay for Skylink. It's terrible because they put too many people on the line. I pay like $30 a month for an internet that's terrible. What about your channel? Are you putting out videos or what? Yeah, I can understand why people stop. It's so hard, it really is. You got to be constantly on YouTube, trying to make videos that most people don't care about. Especially if you put your time in it, making a video, and then nobody even shows up, or you get like less than 100 views, then you wonder why you do it. I can understand why everybody stops. Honest. My other channel, I had like 138 subs, but so dangerous putting on clips. YouTube watch everything you do and complaining about what's good and what's not. A lot of stress in that when you put clips on. If you're just talking and making your own videos and stuff, you're not copyrighting it because it's your own stuff. Videos, everything is, I think it's geared for the first 5 seconds. You got to hook people. And I tried the videos, part one, part two, hooking people. It was like part one was just the key to the front door. And then I had a link to go to part two so that people could watch the full movie. Because on the long videos, nobody goes there to look at your long videos. They just want short. And they go from one short to the other. Half the time when they go to shorts, they don't even comprehend what they're watching. They just click on the next. And then your long videos get no views. And that's where you get your watch hours because the shorts do not count as watch hours. You need 4,000 watch hours. Right now I'm at 59 and a half watch hours. And you need 4,000 to get monetized. And you need 1,000 subs to get monetized. If you had 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours, you could have a super chat or whatever they call that thing, which is pretty much useless. I got a buy me coffee thing I've had for I've had up for 3 months. No one's ever bought me a cup of coffee. So that if you're not popular like Mr. Beast or Mr. Baldwin or something like that, nobody's going to stop by your coffee anyway. So the super chat thing is good for people that are popular. And you can imagine all these YouTube channels. Most are in my neighborhood of not being popular. Nobody even knows you're around. They see your short, they click to the next, and they don't even know who you are or what your channel's about. That's the sad truth about YouTube. There's only a very small amount of people that become famous. And look at the kind of let's go Mr. Beast, for example. He's famous, but look how much money he spends on each one of his videos. He gives away like 250,000 K in prizes. Who can do that? You got to be famous and making a lot of money to do stuff like that. The channels that give away free prizes and stuff like that, they're going to do better. The channels that have sexy women always do better. An old ugly guy, not so good. I think a really good channel is Mr. Baldwin. He tells stories. He's real popular. He's got a lot of views. Whatever he's doing right. And he's got good stories, truly good stories with good content. I think even people pay for him to come appear in their town too. But he's making money all around. A channel like mine where you just talk, not travel, not so good. The Philippine channels, the ones that go to the bars chasing everything, and they're the ones that do it. Use AI. You can use AI, but you have to be careful too because YouTube's kind of cracking down on AI. So if you don't use it correctly, you can get blocked or striked or warning. I go to Gemini every once in a while. I ask them a question. Why is this happening? Why is this not happening? They give you answers. Sometimes the answer is good, sometimes it's not. As far as using AI for animation stuff, no, I haven't done that. You got to be careful when you use it. But YouTube's not real fond of using AI. A lot of the channels that had AI, there was one Filipino channel, foreigner had, and he had all these videos clips, and every thumbnail he had was made by AI with pretty girls on all the covers. AI banned his whole channel, and he was monetized. He was getting paid every month. They just pretty much knocked his channel down because of too much AI, because it was all fake. That's the dangers of using AI. And he was making a good monthly income, and boom, woke up one day and AI said that your channel's no more. Adios. And then his income is gone because he had AI make all the covers with different pretty girls for every cover on his clips. And they shut it down. Sexy women always popular themselves, but if you're not a sexy woman, you're not gonna do good. Or if you're a good creator like Mr. Beast or Mr. Baldwin, you're gonna do good. I'm not either Mr. Beast or Mr. Baldwin. I don't have that kind of talent. Those guys, they have a staff that a lot of them do the research for them, do the writing, everything, the editing. Mr. Beast makes probably every month millions of dollars. I think he's one of the top YouTube performers. And Mr. Beast makes, you know, money for YouTube. Advertisers love Mr. Beast, so of course he's going to bring in a lot of advertising money. I think the way YouTube does the channels that are relatively new for live, they do 25 minutes and then whatever your sub count is. So if you had 50 subs and then 25 free minutes, so you're looking at they would give you 75 minutes on your live, and then you went over your time limit. But as you progress and you get more subs, then the limit's higher. And then once you're fully monetized, I think there is no limit. So the category I am, I'm the bottom of the pack of YouTube. Struggling YouTube guy. You're quiet today, huh? I'm surprised no brownouts or power outages yet. Yeah, I try to think of new ideas all the time. My brain, even when I'm sleeping, my brain's always going and going and going. Always going and going and going. Back in what was it? 2012, I think. when I was in Iraq, 2013, something like that. I used to write books for on Amazon, and there was one book called Billy It's Time. That was the title of the book on Amazon. You could search it. You see, I got like 25 or 30 books on Amazon. That book, I had 1 star reviews, or it was a terrible because I had no editor, and my grammar is terrible. I had people, I had book two and the book set, and people bought the first book, a small amount of money, and they complained grammar's terrible. No good, no good. Why don't you have an editor? I didn't have no money to get no editor. But they turned around and they bought book two because they wanted the conclusion. They wanted the end of the story. And I was on the Amazon top 100 paid list for like 2 or 3 weeks. Top 100. And people with 5 star reviews, they were not. And they could not imagine how my book sold more than theirs. And I just told the people, simple. People didn't care about the grammar, they cared about the story. And I had a story that people wanted to read. And they bought the book. They bought book one, book two, and some people bought the book back. And even though the grammar was terrible, they had to buy book two. They wanted to know the ending. So it broke all the rules. Billy, It's Time is the name of the book. And it's only got like a 1 star review or something like that. I wrote it back in, I think 2011 or 2012 or 2013. I don't know, somewhere between 2011 and 2013. One of the lowest reviews ever, like 1 star, and it was selling better than anybody. And people and the writers with 5 star reviews on their books, I was outselling them all. Simple because they wanted to know what book two was. Short stories, they were only like 15,000 words. They could read the whole book one like in 20 or 30 minutes, and then book two about the same. Short stories, bloody and gory, about a guy that got tired of life, his struggles. They got on a motorcycle and drove across the country, and they've had enough and kind of bloody. People loved it, even though they even though they gave me a 1 star review, they loved it. That's what that's what sells. If you have something of value that people have to have and need, they watch it. And trying to find that value is what's hard. And if the story's good enough, the people will trip over the bad grammar and still go on and read the book. They'll complain and they'll moan and groan and call you names and whatever, but they'll buy the book. 2.9. Yeah, that's my name, Michael P. Buckley. That'd be me. So it's gone up a little bit, I guess. My favorite book of all is a short story. I thought it was the best book I ever wrote. A Cry for Santa. A little short story about a little girl. They got in a car accident. I had a Filipino artist. He made my cover for that book for free because I didn't have any money. He felt sorry for me. Whoever read that book would cry because the ending was good. I hated to write terrible endings. I always wanted a good ending, and that's what I always tried to do. Like Nicholas Sparks, he's a great book writer, but all of his stories have terrible endings. I hated that part about his stories. But mine always had good endings. Yeah, I used to write a long time ago when I had a laptop. I don't have my laptop now is old and broken, so I don't have a laptop anymore. I don't know how many books I have out there, probably 20 or 30 of them, something. So I had my little walk of fame for like 2 weeks back in a long time ago. Even after all this time, I still get a 35 cents for, like, if the book goes for $1, you only get like 35 cents. If you have what do they call it, Amazon Reader, you can read them online. Yeah, 2 weeks fame, long time ago. It just shows that anything's possible. So all the grammar queens and everything else, they were astonished how their 5-star reviews had nothing going for them. And at the time, you could look at the Amazon sales. Every second, I was selling a book. Boom, boom, boom. It was amazing. It just shows the impossible sometimes is possible. Even on my other channel, MPB Notebook, there was a video on there that had 66,000 views. It went viral, but it was a short, so useless. Shorts. It gave me like 30 extra subscribers, that video did, with no watch hours. That's what life is. It's a gamble. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And most times you lose. That's the sad part about it. All you can do is take one foot, put it in front of the other, and keep on walking and hope. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and most of the times you're going to lose. But that doesn't mean you should give up and not try it. You should always try. Now I guess that book doesn't sell anything anymore. It had its 2 weeks of fame, and then it started collecting dust. But the best book I ever wrote was I Cried to Santa. I love that book. It even made me cry when I was writing it. Another short story. Billy at the time was very violent. Very violent. Well, early on, I had a couple people come to watch the live stream. To do, places to go, and all that. Yeah, I used to have a lot of good stories. And Billy, his time was very graphic. Oh my God. That's the kind of stuff people like. They like graphics. one of the very graphic parts was some guys raped a girl, and they put him in a bathtub, and they boiled the water until he died. Or heads on a post. A real graphic book. That's the kind of stuff people like, I guess. If the book's boring, nobody likes it. Doesn't sell. You got to have a hook, you got to have a middle, and you got to have an ending. The key to is when you're making these videos, which I have not found out the way to do it correctly yet, you got to give people a hook, the reason for them to come and watch your video. Then you got to tell them what the video is about early on. And then you got to tell them, stay tuned, and you'll tell them what happens on the end of the video without telling them that way. You gotta save the conclusion to the end so they stay and watch. But I haven't been able to do that. Like David has the possibility of winning two tickets to go watch the Knicks play, but he has to do a couple things before he has a chance to win those tickets. We'll talk about that later on in the video, but right now I'll show you the things he's got to do before he wins those tickets. He's got to wash two cars. He's got to clean up the outside of a park. So there's many things he's got to do. Can he make it or not? I don't know. We'll talk about that later, but he's trying to make it so he can get those two tickets to the, see, you got to drag it on so people watch it to the end, even if it's silly. If you can hook people and keep them on video the whole time. See, if the people don't stay, if they watch your video and they click out in 5 seconds or 3 seconds, that hurts your video. It doesn't do you any good. They got to stay and watch the whole video, or it doesn't help you at all. And that's the problem with a lot of these videos is they have to stay and leave. That's the key for shorts. The stay's got to be up in like 80%. They have to watch most of your video. If they don't and they leave, YouTube penalizes and thinks that nobody wants to watch it. And they don't push it out to the people anymore. And your video dies with less than 100 views or 50 views or even a few views. That's the problem with shorts. Everybody clicks away. You got to have a hook, you got to have a middle, and you got to have a conclusion. And story's got to be good enough that people will stay and watch it to the end, which is hard to do. That's where I feel. And that's where the good creators, they have that down pat. Plus, they have an editing team. They might have 10 people working with them, editing these videos and finding the ends and the middles and the clicks and the thumbnails and all that. Uh, 25 and I 64. Oh, I think I'm getting near my end time anyway. They're going to boot me off shortly. It's been nice talking to you, and thanks for hanging around and talking, huh? Well, I guess I'll catch you the next time. You have a good night, and thanks for coming again. You take care, okay? Guess I better go before YouTube closes the chat on me. Okay, good night and sleep well, huh? See you later.